Welcome back to Discount Travel Secrets. Today is day 4, and today is all about attractions and entertainment. To start off, I want to review again the goal for this course is for you to have an understanding of each sector of the tourism industry and how to maximize discounts in each one. And I also want to review everything that we've covered so far now that we're a few days in. So on day 1, we introduced the 4 sectors of the tourism industry and had you build your bucket list. And on day 2, we started off with discussing the transportation sector, and we recommend several ways that you can get discounts or save money. And we shared the Scott's Cheap Flights program and the Travelgram memberships as well as other rewards programs. And on day 3, we discussed lodging, and we recommended all of our favorite ways that we save money, as well as some rewards programs and some comparison shopping websites. For each of those lessons, we also had you do work where you looked at the things that you put on your bucket list and picked your top few favorites that you wanted to work on, and you found what the transportation costs would be, what the lodging costs would be, and if you could find anything else to maybe add to your bucket list, knowing the ways that you can save money on transportation and lodging and doing a different type of travel than you maybe thought of before. I also have a reminder here to join the Facebook group if you haven't yet. It is available if you open up the PDF and click on the link, or if you just search Discount Travel Secrets on Facebook, you'll see it there. Okay, so to start off with attractions, what is the attractions sector for tourism? This is anything that you're going to do on your trip that doesn't involve eating, drinking, or sleeping. So these are theme parks, museums, guided tours, landmarks, parks, shows, movie theaters, festivals, special events, beaches, fishing, conferences, shopping, nightlife, religious sites, people watching, and visiting friends and family. And why does this matter in terms of discount travel? This is, again, another sector where it can be an inexpensive part or a very expensive part of your trip, depending on what you're choosing to do. So for example, if you're going on a trip just to visit friends and family wherever they live and they don't live in a tourism destination, you're probably not spending that much money on entertainment, like maybe going to a movie or something, but you're not buying tens of thousands of dollars of like theme park tickets or something like that. This is also one area that we really never pay full price for anything. There's so many different options out there to get some sort of discount, even if it's just a few dollars, and you just kind of have to know where to look. So let's get into how to unlock the attractions discount travel secrets. The first thing is to just choose activities that are just inherently inexpensive. If you build your trip around these kinds of attractions, you will just spend less money in general. So if you're wanting to save money on attractions, don't go on a theme park vacation. Instead, you can go somewhere like Washington, D.C., where all the different Smithsonian museums are completely free to everybody. And you also have like the monument and landmarks that are outside, so there's also no cost to go see those either. A lot of places also have free museum days throughout the year. It will be pretty busy on those days for sure, but if the goal is spending less money, that's going to be a way to spend less money. So like when we lived in Orange County, LA would always do free museum days, and they have like just an absurd number of museums. Also, some of the smaller theme parks do stuff like Bring a Friend for Free Day, or they have promotions where when you buy a season pass for yourself, you'll get like one free day ticket for someone else. So for me, that's Kings Island. That's our local theme park. They're part of Cedar Fair, which is also now Six Flags. So I would imagine everything in that brand offers the same thing. And again, it used to be a specific Bring a Friend for Free day, that was the only day you could bring people. But now what they do is like a Bring a Friend for Free ticket that you can then go use on any day, which is a lot better. When we first started traveling together, what we actually focused on was national parks and also just like anything that's part of the National Park Service, because you can get an annual pass for $80 and it covers every National Park Service site in the country. That's over 2,000 different places. And these places also charge just for the vehicle. So it was $80 for our car to go in. So whether it's just the two of us or we're traveling with other people, we are all getting into those national parks for just that $80 pass. And they also have a ton of different promotional offers for those too. Like seniors get like discounted or free ones, military, I believe it's fourth graders also get a free pass that year. It's a specific grade. I want to say it's fourth grade. But there's lots of ways to get this pass for less than $80. You can even split the cost of this with someone else that's not in your household. So when you get the pass, on the back, it has space for 2 signatures. And we've actually only been to one place ever that checked for a signature, and it was Devil's Tower. And they actually made us sign it because we hadn't signed it previously because no one ever asked. But if you split it with a friend and each of you signs it, you can, pass it back and forth between each other as long as you're both not trying to go at the same time in separate vehicles, basically. Then it's $40 for each of you, and then you can both go to all the national parks you want for a whole year. But even if you don't plan on going to a lot of national parks, most national parks are less than $25 or about $25 or less, and it's usually per vehicle. So even if you can only go to one national park, if you just go in, pay the fee as you get in, that $25 for your family to spend the day there is still significantly cheaper than like a Disney World vacation. One thing I've heard as well is that when you purchase the National Park Pass, if you buy it online, it goes to the General National Park Service Fund. But if you buy it, like when you go through the gate at the park, then the money goes to that specific park. So if you care really like where the money goes, if it matters to you, you can wait till you get to where you're going and buy the pass from that park. Or if you just need to kind of have that security of you already have what you need, then you can buy it online in advance. I think we've done it both ways. It's just kind of when we realize that it's expired, we'll, get it at the gate. But I think when we got our very first one, we did it online just through the National Park Service site. Okay, and here I have that it is the fourth graders that do get a free pass. Okay, so what do you do if you want to go to the expensive attractions and you just want to find any sort of way to make it more attainable or just not take up so much of your budget? These are some of my tips. I'm going to use Disney World as the example since that is what I have a ton of experience in, being someone that I've never bought a full price Disney ticket ever in my life. And I know that it is an increasingly more expensive vacation. So I figured this example would probably apply to the most people. And a lot of it can apply to Disneyland as well. So for starters, there's no hack for Disney World tickets. If you're seeing someone that's offering like really discounted tickets, it's likely a scam, like they're partially used tickets that can't be transferred over to another person. People get scammed out of this so much. When I worked there, like you would just hear all kinds of stories about this. Now there are licensed third-party sellers, like travel agents and agencies that can get you like 5 to 10% off. And this is what I mentioned in a previous lesson, where if you are a travel agent or an affiliate, like we are, for example, you get anywhere from 5 to 10% back for your sales. So what these companies will do is take it from their commission. So if they get 10% for selling you a Disney ticket, they can sell you a Disney ticket for 5 to 8% off and still get a little bit of a kickback. And when they're selling so many other things, they can afford to do that. So if you're seeing third-party sellers that are licensed and people have reviewed them and you know for a fact that they can sell tickets, like Getaway Today, they are not Disney, but they are licensed to sell Disney packages and Disney tickets. They will sometimes be 5 to 10% cheaper than buying at the gate, and it's because they're just giving you back some of their commission because they're going to get a kickback anyway. But if you're looking for more than just 5 to 10% off of tickets that are hundreds of dollars, my first recommendation is to work for the company. So when I was in college, I did the Disney College Program. I got free tickets for myself as well as a certain number for my family each year. I think it's 16 days and I could get 3 people in, plus they give you extra tickets every so often for different reasons. So I used that when my family visited, and now that I have family working for Disney it's being reciprocated. But again, the Walt Disney Company is massive. So you do not need to be in a frontline minimum wage role to get free tickets to Disney. They have just about every job humanly possible that would get these benefits. You can work at the studios, you can work in law, you can do marketing, you can do sales, you can do literally anything. And the Walt Disney Company is probably hiring for it. And if you work for Disney, you get Disney benefits. And you also don't have to be in Southern California or in Orlando. They have places all over the world, and they have some remote positions. They have some traveling positions, like with the cruise line or Adventures by Disney. So there's a lot of options there. Like if it's really important to you, there's a lot of options that you can make that happen. Another option is just being friends or family with someone that works there. Like I just said, my family works there now, so when I go, I don't pay for tickets. They sign me in with their free tickets because I always sign them in with my free tickets. And if you can't commit to working for Disney long term as like a career goal, have your kids or you be an intern at Disney. I did it it was 4 months, just the fall semester 1 year, and then they offered it for just the summer the next year. And then I did a whole 8-month one out in Disneyland. So it's short term. And if you have, free admission for even 4 months, you can see and do a lot of things at Disney just in that amount of time. And what's funny is the Disney College program, to be part of it, you just have to have been in school within the last like 6 months or a year. So there are adults that, like, everyone's adults that works there, but like there are older adults, older than typical college age, that will do like a community college class or something and enroll part-time, and then that makes them eligible for the college program. People all the time would be like, I have a roommate that's 40 years old, and you can technically do that. There's no rule against that. Some better options, though, that may apply to more people is the military tickets, is what we used growing up. So you were able to get 6 tickets, and the military member or their spouse had to go to Shades of Green or a military base beforehand, and you could get park tickets, and you could do 4 days with park hoppers, and then it would give you 4 water park Fun and More tickets, which was the water parks and Disney Quest. And these tickets were like less than $200 per person. So for a family of 5, if you're looking at why did my family go to Disney World every single year, multiple times a year for vacation and nothing else, we were driving in one vehicle for 5 people. So we were just paying for gas there and back for a 16-hour drive. So think about the airfare you save to go just about anywhere else. Lodging, we had the military benefits to stay at Shades of Green, which is 99% of the time cheaper than all the other Disney hotels. We also had family that lived in the area, not directly in Orlando at that time, but it helped us. Like, we would go down for a month and we would do like a week at Disney and then spend the rest of the time with family. And then also for lodging, they joined the Disney Vacation Club back when I was in high school. So for that, it's like paying all-star prices, but you're staying at deluxe resorts like the Grand Floridian and the Polynesian. That's really what it comes out to. And then if you have the Disney Rewards card, everything you earn for that can pay your annual dues. So you really just have the upfront cost of the timeshare, and your annual dues are covered from your Disney Visa. And then your Disney Visa still gives you extra free money to use on food and whatever else you want when you go on the trip. So we had these discounts every single sector of the tourism industry. We were never paying full price for anything. And that's why a family of 5, we went to Disney every single year, multiple times a year, and we were not spending $10,000 to do this. The other thing is that state residencies get a lot of discounts. So Florida for Disney World, and for California, it's mostly Southern California residents specifically. So it goes by area code. Or zip code, not area code. And that would be your Disneyland ticket. So sometimes they'll do like a 3-day ticket for like $89 a day instead of the, $150 that it costs now. So it pays to live close to somewhere that you want to go. If going to Disney World is important to you, there are many choices you can make that make it easier for you to go. And if it's still just like unfathomable to do any of those things, then your option is to pay full price or nearly full price, and it just is what it is. And I actually talk about this in my next slide. Like if none of those are possible for you, you can always ask for Disney gift cards for birthdays and holidays or any other milestones. And then that way you can use those gift cards to buy your tickets, pay for your hotel room, pay for your food, all kinds of things. And a lot of stores, what you should do if you have a rewards credit card, most of the time, if you buy something from a grocery store, you get more percent back than you do with regular purchases. So if regular purchases, you get 1% back. Sometimes grocery stores are anywhere from 2 to 5% back. So buy your Disney gift cards at your grocery store or Target, and then you're also getting... So you're getting your Disney gift card for whatever it costs, but then you're also getting your percent cash back on it, as opposed to just, spending $50 at Disney. Now you've stretched that farther. And when you look at that on a bigger scale of like the cost of an entire vacation, it really adds up. Another more recent option that I had added to this course later is if you work in or with the media, a lot of companies will sponsor your park tickets or reimburse you for them. So JP's son used to do this. He worked for one of the Disney vlogs or Disney blogs, and they bought his annual pass to Disneyland so that he could go into Disneyland and record content for them. So if you have the ability to do freelancing like that, that's also an option. As a side note to this too, Disney themselves does work with content creators, but it's on a very limited level. So they will allow you like basically one comped ticket per like whoever represents you. So if your say like YouTube channel is 2 people, 2 of you could get 1 free ticket a year. Potentially is all that they will give you. But Disney will also invite people that are known Disney influencers and content creators when they have new things opening. As I'm recording this right now, Epic Universe is doing previews, and Disney influencers are invited to that as well, because a lot of times Disney World influencers are also doing all the Universal stuff since they're right there. Even in California, Disneyland and Universal are not that far from each other. So you can get invited if you're doing stuff like that and get extra opportunities to get into the parks for free. So that's always an option. Also, I don't know if I have it in here or not. There's a ton of stuff you can do at Disney without going to the parks. I went just a couple weeks ago for my nephew's spring break, and I had my family sign us in one day because my nephew, he's 13. Epcot's the only Disney park in the US he had never been to, and that's my favorite park, and it's the first park I ever worked at. So they gave us tickets and we went. But the other day we were there, we just parked at Disney Springs because parking is free there. And we walked around Disney Springs, and then we took a bus over to, we were taking whatever first bus showed up that goes to a Skyliner resort. So we took it to the Riviera, walked around the Riviera, because my mom, as much as I grew up going to Disney, that was with my dad, my mom has not done the vast majority of things at Disney. She's been to all the theme parks, but virtually nothing else. So we rode the Skyliner around to everywhere the Skyliner goes. We ended it at Epcot where it drops off on the boardwalk. We walked around the whole boardwalk area, and then we took a bus over to Magic Kingdom, and then took the monorail and the boats around all of those resorts, and then eventually took a bus back to Disney Springs. So the entertainment-wise, attractions-wise, that was a completely free day. The only thing we paid for was food and our lodging for that night. Okay, so getting away from the Disney examples, since I know that does not apply to everybody. Some people are super anti-Disney vacations, but that's okay. There's something for everybody. Another thing that you can do is if you are able to give up a couple hours of your day on your vacation, you can attend a timeshare presentation if you're going to a destination that offers those. because they will offer you an insane amount of free stuff. Usually the first offer is not a whole lot. I'll use Vegas as an example because if you go to Vegas, they are pitching you literally every resort you walk into. There's a desk and someone walks up to you and they're like, "How long are you in town for? Oh, have you seen any shows?" And it's because they're going to offer you free tickets to whatever show you want to see or whatever attraction you want to see in exchange for going to a timeshare presentation. And this is also controversial because people are like, they think timeshares are controversial. I think the salespeople are, some of the salespeople, probably most of them, are the controversial aspect of it. And if you know how to use your timeshare properly, this is not a problem. But also going to a presentation knowing full well you're not buying anything, I don't think that's controversial. And because I've had so many bad salespeople that like are just truly awful people, I don't feel bad. And they also operate their business knowing that this is how it works, that people are there for the free stuff, but enough people can be swayed that it is worth it to them. So if they're offering it, I'm not taking advantage of anything. They're offering it to me. They're insisting as hard as humanly possible that I go do this. And I already own a timeshare and they already know that. Even when you already own through that company, everyone but Disney will still keep asking you to keep going and going and going and keep saying, "Oh, but there's this new thing." There's no new thing. It's always a timeshare presentation. Like, so don't ever like get scammed into that. Like there's every time you go, it is for the sales purpose. But the thing is to seem hesitant about it and to say no a couple times or kind of shy away from it a little bit, because the more you seem uninterested, the more stuff they'll throw in. So just one presentation that we went to in Vegas, they gave us 2 tickets to go to the Wax Museum. They gave us 2 tickets to ride the gondolas at the Venetian. And they gave us a resort certificate where we could book 5 to 7 night hotel accommodations. And I think with that, it was just a $100 activation fee, and then we paid nothing else. So it wasn't like you pay the taxes and fees at the end or you pay resort fees. It was just $100 for a 5 to 7 night stay. So we also had 2 free tickets to go on the high roller. That's the big observation Ferris wheel. And then they also gave us another free 2-night stay with their timeshare location. So for all of that, we were like, yeah, I can give 2 hours of my day. Because for us, we went to Vegas on weekends all the time because it was only 4 hours from us. So, and once you do it a few times, well, really after a couple times, you kind of get a feel for how it works. So you can you can plan it into your vacation. Like whenever we go to use our timeshare, if it's both of us traveling together, which doesn't really happen all the time anymore, but we make sure to plan in that like one morning, try not to plan anything in the early part of the day so that we can go to a presentation. Most of the time they offer you a preloaded Visa gift card of anywhere from $100 to $300. And if you're going on like a weekend trip, that could pay for like all your food and all your entertainment potentially. Just this last year, we got free tickets to Dollywood. We were already planning to go to Dollywood. I was going to buy my own tickets, but they were offering it for that. So I was like, if you can do it early enough where I can be in the park by the time the park opens, then be my guest. So that's another option. It can be controversial. I'm just saying it's an option and you can choose whether you want to take advantage of that or not. And just my little speech about timeshares. They can save you money if you know how to use it. Honestly, the best one is the Disney Vacation Club. They are not pushy like traditional timeshares. They are not shady. It is super high quality resorts because it is Disney level everything. And it's, if you know you're going to Disney every year, or you know you go to Orlando or Hawaii or Southern California or even Hilton Head. I feel like there's one other one I might be missing. I don't know. If you know you're going to all of those, it pays for itself. The other timeshares, they're okay. Like I bought through Diamond Resorts and Hilton has bought them. So that's great because Hilton is definitely a better brand than Diamond was, but still it's not Disney level, but it's also not Disney price either. So you kind of have to go with, you know, what you're comfortable with. It's not the best thing in the world, but it is an option if you know you're going to be doing something all of the time. Okay, so getting back to attractions, one thing you can do if you're looking for either like just attraction tickets in general, like even if it is theme parks or museum tickets, or if you want to go on excursions, looking at TripAdvisor and looking at Groupon. And also Viator is my go-to now, but that's just because I'm an affiliate for them. So if I book something through Viator, I'm going to get my like 8% back or something like that. But they all have pretty much the same offerings. They all offer them at the same price, give or take a couple of dollars, depending on who's getting like affiliate commission on the back end and if they're giving up a share of their commission. But they have any activity that could be in that destination will be listed on these sites. I like to use them. Groupon in particular has a lot of like wine tasting discounts, like buy one get one free type things, or places that do like wine trails. If there's a lot of wineries, it'll include tastings at like 3 to 5 different places. That's something we like to use it for. When we lived in California, there was a lot of like whale watching tours. That's a popular thing. There's a lot of ghost tours on here. There's a lot of self-guided audio driving tours. We really like those. So it's basically just a download you put on your phone. It connects to your GPS, and your GPS just tells you where to go, and then in the background the phone knows where you are and is telling you about like where you're going, what's around you, where to stop to go do something. We've done these in Maui, we've done them on like battlefields, and they're super cheap because they're just a download on your phone. Like they're usually like $10. Oh, escape rooms is another good one. Usually they're like 10% off. But also a lot of escape rooms, even on their website directly, if you go to like the FAQs, they'll show like different discount codes that you can put in. You can also bundle tickets. So if you're going to like a bigger tourism destination area, so Southern California, they would have this 3-day pass, and it would be good for 1 day at SeaWorld, 1 day at Legoland, and 1 day at Disneyland. And it's cheaper than if you had bought each of those individually. So a lot of places do stuff like that, or they'll include like multiple museums within that one ticket. So if you plan your trip around the deals like that you can see ahead of time, then that can help you kind of fill in what to do, rather than the reverse of picking your destination and being like, okay, what's in this immediate area? Then you're at the mercy of what is in your immediate area. But if you do it like in the reverse, where you see what deals can I get and then build your trip around that, that will make your money go a lot farther. We do that for most of our trips. Another good bundling option is GoCity. So we're an affiliate for them and we actually use them. I have a post on my blog about San Francisco, like the best things to do in San Francisco, and almost that entire list is things that were on the GoCity pass. So we bought I think it was like a 2-day multi-pass or like an unlimited pass or something, and everything that we did in the city, the admission was included for that. So like the hop on hop off bus that takes you around was included. We did an escape room. We did the Walt Disney Family Museum. And then there's a bunch of like little attractions around some of the piers. Like all of that stuff is included. There was another wax museum there. So if you look at the things that are on the pass for that city, that you buy them per city, not per like number of activities, and see if there's enough things there that you're interested in doing, and see if the full price of that or the discounted price you're able to find elsewhere outweighs the cost of the GoCity pass. Or if there's something like, I was only going to do the Disney Museum and maybe an escape room, but with this pass, I can fill my whole day. I can fill my whole week with activities. Then I might spend a little bit extra to have the pass so that I have a full itinerary of things I can do if I want to fill my day with stuff. So it just kind of depends on how you want to spend your time on your trip, if the GoCity pass is going to be worth it for you or not. Vegas is another good one for the GoCity pass because there's just an insane number of things to do there. But they also have these for international destinations as well. Here I actually have a list of some of the other cities that you can use it in. If you download the PDF, you can look at it longer or just pause the video here until you read them all. There's also an app called Travello. I think it's linked in here if you download the PDF. You get credits towards attractions tickets that you purchase. So when you download the app, you'll get like an initial $5 credit, and the more stuff you buy, you'll get more credits that you can then keep buying more stuff. But the point of it is to kind of build a travel community, so you can, review the places that you're going or share about the places you're going. And it's only like these travel attractions on this app rather than just being Instagram where anyone posts about anything and everything. And you can even earn like free activities and free tickets just by posting. I have a code here that you can use that will get you that $5 bonus, and then it'll also like link us up on the app. So then if you want to just even scope it out to see if it has stuff that you're interested, it doesn't cost any money. Another little side note, I guess, about getting discounts on attractions tickets. The vast majority of these, you're not going to be able to like walk up to the counter, buy a ticket, and get a discount on it. You're going to usually have to plan in advance and purchase from a third party or purchase through an online promotion. I see a lot of the smaller level theme parks do this a lot now, where if you purchase the ticket online in advance, it's like tons of dollars cheaper than buying at the gate. Like it's more than just $5 a lot. So just looking at things in advance saves you money. Having a plan saves you money at the very least. So as long as you're not just going blindly somewhere and just going with what you feel, you should be able to find some sort of discount to make doing more attractions on your vacation less expensive. One thing that I thought would be in here that I don't know if it got deleted over time or I just skipped over, the visitor centers at places, as well as like at hotels or in like your little tourist trap type areas, always have those big cases of all the brochures and stuff. All those brochures have discounts in them. So if you haven't gotten anything in advance that was discounted, you may see something there that you like that does offer some sort of discount. Okay, so getting into the assignment for today or your homework. So take what you have on your bucket list, and it can be the same things that you already looked at the transportation for and you already looked at the lodging for, or you can do something completely different if you're curious about somewhere else today. But go to TripAdvisor, go to Groupon, go to Viator, and see what things there are to do and how much they cost. And you can even do a cost comparison versus buying directly, because the more you plan out your vision of your bucket list trip, the more attainable and real it will feel. So you'll be able to find more ways to make it happen much easier. I always look multiple places. Like I don't go to just Viator, and if I don't find anything, then I guess there's nothing type thing. I look around a few different places. So I would do that. Check out the Trevello app if you haven't already. Join the Facebook group if you haven't already. And we also have the discussion here on the side. So I have a link to Viator over here because I honestly use that more than Groupon and TripAdvisor now. TripAdvisor I use for looking and coming up with ideas. Viator I use for actually purchasing the tickets. Groupon I use if it fits the location I'm going to. So like the wine tastings when we were in California, that's great for Groupon. I don't really have much here in like Ohio or the things I do in Florida where it's helpful. So Viator for actually booking stuff. You can still like look around on Viator, but when I actually go to book, I'm not booking through TripAdvisor, I book through Viator. And that is it for today's lesson. I will see you in the next one.